Every single morning, 7:15 a.m. Without fail, I walked out to my driveway in Cedar Falls, Iowa, grabbed my coffee, and waved at my neighbor across the street. Her name was Margaret. White hair, blue cardigan, the same warm smile every single time. She always waved back. For 3 years, this was my morning routine. Until one Tuesday in October. Everything I thought I knew fell apart in about 10 seconds flat. Because today, someone grabbed my shoulder and asked me 4 words that changed everything. "Who are you waving at?" "My name is Jake. Jake Calloway. I'm 34 years old. I live in a 2-bedroom house on Maple Drive. And up until this past October, I thought I was one of the luckiest guys on my street. You know why? Because of Margaret. I never caught her last name. Never really had a full conversation with her. But every morning when I walked out to warm up my truck before heading to my job at the warehouse, there she was, standing just inside her screen door at 114 across the street. White hair pulled back, same blue cardigan. I swear it was the same one every single day. And this smile, this warm, grandmotherly smile that just kind of said, "Good morning, the world is okay today." I'd raise my coffee mug. She'd give a little wave. That was it. That was our whole friendship. And honestly, it meant more to me than I ever said out loud. I moved to Cedar Falls right after my divorce. I didn't know a single soul on that street. I was eating microwave dinners alone, watching football games I didn't care about, just trying to get through the day. Margaret was the first person who made me feel like I belonged somewhere again. I even told my buddy Travis about her once. He came over to watch the game one Sunday, and I said, "Hey, that's my neighbor Margaret. Nicest lady you'll ever not quite meet." Travis squinted across the street and shrugged. Didn't say much. I didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to October 14th. Normal Tuesday morning, 7:15 a.m. I walk out, coffee in hand, look across at 114, and I wave. Then I feel a hand on my shoulder. I spin around. It's my other neighbor. Dave. Lives 2 doors down, retired postal worker. Knows everyone's business on this street. He's got this look on his face. Not scared exactly. More like concerned. He says, real quiet, "Jake, who are you waving at?" I laugh it off. I point right at Margaret's house and say, "My neighbor, Margaret." She waves back every morning. I figured you'd know her. Dave doesn't laugh. He just stares at me for a second, then slowly points to the front of the house. And that's when I see it. A sign. A big, sun-bleached real estate sign staked in the overgrown front yard. For sale. And underneath it, in smaller letters, Harmon Realty Group, available immediately. I literally laughed out loud. I thought it was a joke. I thought maybe Margaret was selling the house, moving to Florida or something. And Dave was about to tell me she'd already left. But Dave looked at me like I had just said something really, really wrong. He said, "Jake, that house has been vacant for 3 years. The woman who lived there, her name was Helen. She passed away back in 2021. The family couldn't sell it for the longest time. Nobody's been inside it since the estate cleanout." I didn't say anything. I just stood there in my driveway in my work boots and my old Carhartt jacket, holding a mug of coffee that had gone completely cold, staring at a house I had said good morning to for 3 years. Every window dark. The screen door, the one I had seen, Margaret standing behind every single morning, was hanging slightly off its hinges, like it had been that way for a long, long time. Dave put a hand on my shoulder and said, "You okay, man?" And honestly, I had no idea how to answer that. I went inside and I sat at my kitchen table for about an hour. I didn't call in late to work. I didn't text anyone. I just sat there running through every single morning in my head. The wave, the smile, the blue cardigan. Had I imagined all of it? Was I so lonely after my divorce? So desperate for any kind of human connection that my brain just invented one? I looked up the address online. Sure enough, 114 Maple Drive, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Last sold in 2019. Previous occupant, Helen Marsh, 78 years old. Passed away November 2021. Helen, not Margaret. I don't know a single person named Helen. So who was I seeing? I'm not going to stand here and tell you it was a ghost. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was grief. Maybe it was loneliness doing things to my brain that I still don't fully understand. Or maybe, and I know how this sounds, maybe whatever I was seeing needed to be there for me just as much as I needed it to be there. Because here's the part one keep coming back to. During the worst 2 years of my life, the divorce, the move, the isolation, the 4 a.m. nights where I genuinely didn't know if I was going to be okay. I walked out that door every single morning because someone was waiting to wave back, and somehow I made it through. I don't know what to do with that, but I think about Margaret or Helen or whoever she was every single morning when I grab my coffee. And sometimes, just sometimes, I still wave. If this story hit you in a way you weren't expecting, you're not alone. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever had a connection with someone that turned out to be more than it seemed? Hit that like button if this kept you watching. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe if you're new here. I share true stories, unsolved mysteries, and the kind of tales that stick with you long after you close the tab.